Welcome to episode 120 of Curio. This week we've got some weird news stories about Shrek, Jesus and capybaras. Are you excited for Shrek 5, Rob?
There's a Shrek 5. So excited. I didn't even know that was happening. I'm so excited I am.
Yeah, there was a trailer and everything.
Wow.
People are not happy at the way Shrek looks. You know, in however many years it's been since Shrek 4, which I'm sure you remember watching.
Yeah.
The animation, I guess, has progressed, like the technology, and he looks slightly different. They kind of made him look a bit older, which makes sense. His kids are like teenagers now, so I think they're progressing in like real time.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, he's just like him, and I think Fiona looks more different than what Shrek does. Shrek looks kind of the same, but I think people were posting like side by sides of like a comparison between Shrek 1 and Shrek 5 and how like he's changed. People aren't happy about it.
Is he like woke or something? Is that what?
I don't think people are going on about the wokeness. I think it's more just like, this isn't what I know, you know, like no matter what.
I'd say it looks like Shrek to me. What are you on about?
I'm kind of with you that it's like mostly the same. It's like, yeah, the animation looks different. And like, if you look at the old Shrek, you're like, oh, like the old one was less detailed. And
right. Actually, I'm looking at it now. I kind of.
Yeah. Look at the last one I just sent you. Like there's a good side by side.
It does look different. Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay. Is it just that he's gotten older? Is that what they've gone for?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a conscious decision, surely, like, because they could have definitely just made him the same, like.
Yeah, because I don't know what like the ogre aging process is like. I guess it's quite similar to humans by the fact that his children are now like teenagers. So
yeah, it is weird though. It's sort of more cartoony.
That's what I think. You'd think it would be like more realistic and more look more real, but it actually looks more like a video game type like animation.
Which is that more why people are a bit put out?
I think so. I think obviously people love Shrek. Like for a lot of people our age, it's like people's favorite animated film. And I think it is good. Like the first two, like, you know, they're made for everyone to enjoy. Like you can watch it as a kid and love it. You can watch it as an adult and find it funny. People just like it.
I thought a lot of like
memed a lot.
I was going to say, I thought a lot of why people went on about Shrek was because it gets memed a lot.
Yeah,
I guess they do also like it.
Yeah, I think it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It got memed because people like it so much. People like it because it's funny. So because it's funny, it's easy to meme, and then people like it even more. But yeah,
the whole Shrek is love thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Shrek is love, Shrek is life. Someone who likes Shrek quite a lot is this woman from the Philippines. So there was a Buddhist woman in the Philippines who had been praying to this Buddha statue in her home for years. As I think all or most Buddhists do, have a Buddha in their home to pray to. And after 4 years of praying to this Buddha,
the picture's worth it.
Realized that it was, well, someone came and told her that it was actually a Shrek. It was, but it was a Shrek Buddha. So like,
yeah, it's shit.
It looks like it's a 3D printed thing, and it's like a Buddha sitting there with like a robe on and his belly out, like
in the Buddha
statues
pose,
do.
Yeah.
But with a Shrek head. So, yeah, in a curious twist of fate, a woman in the Philippines unnowingly worships. Yeah, I don't know how that's a twist of fate.
Yeah, that's not a twist of fate, is it?
No,
that's just like mistaking your idols.
Yeah, worshipped a statue of Shrek, the beloved green ogre from DreamWorks Animation, for over 4 years, believing it to be an idol of Buddha. The discovery came as a shock when a visiting friend pointed out the unusual figure in her prayer space.
I like the way when you search, I've just Googled Buddha statue and the Shrek one comes up.
Oh, so it's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, it comes up colossal Shrek Buddha 3D printed statue, various colours. It's hard to get a scale of how colossal he is, but yeah, he comes up just when you search Buddha statues. It's obviously
it's not coming up for me. Maybe it's because you just searched for Shrek.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just getting actual Buddha statues.
It's in the top. It's in the sponsored. It's in my sponsored thing.
But I think Google's getting clever about that. I've noticed sometimes if you Google one thing and then later on Google something that may not be related but could potentially be related, it kind of links the two. Like it knows that that's what you're looking for.
You're a potential customer of that.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm looking for colossal Shrek Buddha 3D printed statues. Clearly, I'm in the market now.
Yeah, it's getting clever. So yeah. People are not happy about Shrek 5. Also think that the people that are unhappy about it are maybe too old to have strong opinions about animated films. But it is what it is. And this woman, I guess it just kept, I think I had this story in my list of stories for a while. And when I saw that the Shrek trailer, I thought, I think I've got a Shrek related story in the bank here. And it was next to this other story about another mishap with a statue. So nice little transition from one.
Nice little segue.
Yeah, double segue there from Shrek to Shrek statue to a statue of Jesus. So I saw this article a while ago, and just as we were like getting ready before the episode, I thought I'll look for other articles of it because sometimes you want, one's better written than the other or one has better photos or whatever. So I was looking to try and find another one, and I found a Snopes article about it, which of course they're like the fact checkers where they usually I'll find a story and then I'll type in the story and Snopes and then you find out it's just completely not true and completely made up.
Yeah.
This one they labeled as a mixture of true and untrue. And they said it is basically the whole premise of the story was true. It's just that there was a small detail that was not true. So, listener, This is one of the rare circumstances when a weird news story is probably actually true. In India, funnily enough, so on your trip next week, Rob, please don't do what I'm about to describe. There was a statue of Christ in India, and miraculously just started dripping water. So there was no, it's not like it's in a fountain or like anywhere where there should be water.
Did you get Christ in India then? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think there's like a mix of, it's obviously such a big country. I think there is a mix of faith.
And the Christians love getting about, don't they?
Also, it was like ex-Commonwealth, right? So it would have had it has had like a big British influence.
Yeah, true. It's actually surprising it's not more of an effect.
Yeah. Anyway, so this Christ statue started dripping water from its feet. Like there was water sort of just running down it. And it was obviously a miracle to those around. That they thought the water must be holy water. We should absorb this holy water that's exuding from our Christ. So everyone was sort of taking turns, getting a little cup of water from his toes and drinking the water coming from Jesus. Yeah. And after a little while of that, it transpired that the water that was leaking from Jesus was from a nearby sewage pipe. The bit that was fact checked was the original story said that it was caused by a clogged toilet nearby. So it was a clogged toilet and that was causing like the sewage to run into the ground or something and go up into the statue and come out. there was no evidence that it was caused by a clogged toilet, is what Snopes has umbrage with. But it was sewage. It was confirmed that it was like a drainage pipe that was either burst or overflowing or something, and it was leaking right underneath where the statue was. So the stone was absorbing the water, and like the sewage water was actually going up into the stone and then going up into the wood. So I think it was like it had like a big stone like platform, and then it was a wooden statue of Jesus on the cross, and it was going up, and then there was like a hole near the top where there was like a nail, probably on his hand. And there's different photos here. The 2 articles I've sent you have different photos of different statues, so I don't know which one's the actual real statue. But yeah, it was in Mumbai, and yeah, unfortunately, these locals were drinking the holy water of their own piss and shit.
So if it's not from a clogged toilet, what did the Snopes article say it was from then? Like,
It said, what is undetermined? The claim specifically ascribes the leaking water to a clogged toilet, a detail that could not be verified with a primary source. But Snopes has reached out to Edamaruku, who is a famed superstition debunker, who personally investigated and found the dripping statue, or found that it was caused by a nearby sewage pipe. So basically it was they're obviously like picking up on just the language of the article and how it was reduced just to like a blocked toilet. But
it was toilet water.
It was sewage water. It was a nearby drainage pipe, but it just wasn't caused by a clogged toilet. It was just bad drainage, I guess, or like a broken pipe or something like that. So it definitely was. And there's first-hand account from Edamaruku. He said, I had a close look at a nearby washroom and the connected drainage system that passed underneath the concrete base of the cross. I removed some stones from the drain and found it was blocked. So the drain was blocked, but not the toilet, I guess. That's what is the fact-checked piece. I touched the walls.
Detailed fact-check in there.
Yeah, the base and the cross, and took some photographs for documentation. It was very simple. Water from the washroom, which had been blocked in the clogged drainage system, had been transmitted via capillary action into the adjacent walls and the base of the cross, and as well as into the wooden cross itself. The water came out through a nail hole and ran down over the statue's feet. So, yeah, easy mistake to make. You could think that Jesus was naturally just exuding holy water and you should drink it.
You could see why someone would think that.
Yeah, we'd all do the same. Like, don't laugh.
Yeah.
It's normal thing. The same way that you can easily just Google a Buddha statue and end up with a Shrek statue in your home. Pray to it for 4 years.
Yeah, I almost did it.
Yeah. See, this is not. It can happen to anyone of any faith or no faith. That they are my Shrek and statue-based stories for today.
Excellent. I have one Shrek-based story. No, it's not. But it does have a green person featured as one of the offshooting stories that I'm going to talk about.
Nice. We're flowing from one to another seamlessly.
So this actually I saw on the Instagram story of friend of the podcast, sometimes contributor.
Yep.
Ringer guest, Faz. Big up, Faz.
Shout out, big up.
Shout out, Faz. Yeah, big ups. I saw it and just like instantly was like, that's well curious. She's like, yeah, I hope you give me credit. So there you go. Credit where credit's due. I think we have spoke about the same police department, right? So what it is it's about, this is the title of the article, is Peruvian policeman in capybara costume makes Valentine's drug bust.
I didn't know it was Valentine's.
Yeah, so they've gone.
It's always
they
it seems to always be around the holidays. Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely done Christmas. We've done Santa, haven't we? We've done Santa Drugs Bust.
There was, I think there was two different. They've done it at least twice at Christmas. I think the first time we ever spoke about them, they were dressed as like Santa Claus and elves.
Yeah,
And,
that was it. Yeah,
like the whole idea was that they were blending in. Like no one would notice it was the police coming. They could just walk down the street. No, people on lookout are just going to be like, oh no, that's just Santa and his elves.
They're out doing fancy dress,
bashing the doors. But then they also did like the Grinch, I think, one year.
That's it. That's the one that was my green person link. Yeah, there's one where they do it. Yeah, dressed as the Grinch.
They've done the Avengers as well, I think.
Yeah, and the Avengers. Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say in the article, just as a quick look, that it was. But it's also cop dressed as Teddy. So I don't know where it's something in Latin America. It's always in Latin America. Like whether it's just like a common policing tactic now, because a couple of them have had success with it, and maybe a few headlines, which maybe gets them a bit of money somehow. Or maybe it's just a legit police tactic now that they all believe in. But like the capybara is what I thought was like the most unusual part of this. Like, is it a common, like animal in Peru?
I think so. I think
isn't native to South American. Yeah. But it's like culturally, like, because like if someone was dressed as a capybara in England, for starters, no one would know what they're supposed to be.
I was about to say, I don't know if I'd reckon. I know what a capybara looks like, but if someone was in a capybara costume, I probably wouldn't know that it was.
No, I wouldn't know that they're trying to be a capybara. No. Like I wouldn't be that. I wouldn't just be able to come out with that. That's a capybara. Like,
yeah.
Like that word is not familiar to me. And is it particularly romantic, the old capybara?
Yeah, I wonder. Is that like why capybara for Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
But I didn't. I need to actually. Have you got the link handy? I didn't actually watch the video. So
and and if you search like capybara Peru Valentine's Day, like all that comes up is these articles. I can't work out whether there is a general Valentine's Day Peruvian connotation.
Yeah, well, I just typed it without the Peru, like capybara Valentines, and I didn't find anything.
I'm saying that I have now just searched that almost by accident, and there is lots of Valentine's Day capybara stuff.
Yeah, but it's all like little Etsy cards and stuff. Like I couldn't find anything that actually makes a tradition or something. This is great. I love they do this every time. Is that they give like an interview to the press just with the costume, like with a person dressed in the costume there. I think the Avengers one was pretty funny. Like I liked that. I think just because.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I think I just remember like, it's come up as the next recommended video, police dressed as superheroes. Yeah, I think Spider-Man costumes always look quite funny, and I think it's the way they sit on your face.
And especially if anyone has like hair, I think they probably don't sit great, and it really needs to be like a proper tight thing, but they're just not, are they? Like especially this one, I don't even think he's tucked it in. He's sort of like like dangling down like a.
Yeah, the costume's all loose.
Yeah,
it looks like when Spider-Man makes his own costume at the beginning. Like he goes into the wrestling ring, and it's like a hoodie and like just very homemade. I like the capybara one. Was it just the capybara, or
as far as I can see on that one, there wasn't like a team of there's obviously a team of them, but it wasn't like the Avengers where there was more than one of them.
The capybara is wearing a turtle backpack. Like, does that really like make does that make that tie it all together? Really make it like believable?
I don't know what that adds. Maybe, I mean, again, maybe there's something we're really missing here. Like maybe the capybara, maybe this is like a character. And the articles just sort of failed to kind of mention that. But it's really funny seeing them like actually doing the like arresting as well. Like the capybara is like pinning someone down at one point. It wasn't just like capybara opened the door. They don't really explain, like why they felt the need that this was necessary. Like they just said, we got a capybara and we went to the place where they're selling the drugs. Like it doesn't really explain fully like why it was better than them just knocking on the door. Like it doesn't say because everyone loves the capybara for this reason, or it's not uncommon to see someone dressed in a costume to come round. Like it doesn't explain that.
No, I've been trying to look it up. Like
yeah.
Because the interview with the police officer, he says because it was Valentine's Day, we thought we would disguise ourselves in the capybara costume.
Yeah, which means it must be like, the fact that they're not really explaining it. It must be like assumed and common knowledge that the capybara is a Valentine's thing.
But I've even looked up I thought maybe it's just a tradition that they all dress up on Valentine's Day, similar to Halloween. Like you just see people in the street, but that doesn't even look like it's a thing either. Like I've Googled, is dressing up a tradition in South America on Valentine's Day? No. But I'm a big fan of this. I think it must just be...
I'm a big fan of it, yeah.
I think it is probably... It will get more... clearly, it gets more press than just any old drugs bust. So it's probably like meant to be a deterrent to other people planning to run a little drug ring or something, to be like, oh man, they are knocking on doors. And I reckon
in some way it helps with like funding. Like if you get a good article showing, look how much, drugs we seized, that must make your department, therefore then your local mayor person looks good.
Yeah,
like, it gets stand out in front of the cameras with it.
Yeah, like, look how much the public loved the fact that we're cracking down on drugs.
Yeah.
Give us more money to crack down on drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Thanks, Faz. We're going to keep our finger on the pulse of this Peruvian
we'll check back again in Halloween and see what they've done then.
Yeah. I realised I did actually have one other Shrek-based story, which is it's like the least substantial topic that we might have ever had on the podcast, and that is that Hatfield police look for missing £200 Shrek sculpture. That's it. Someone had a Shrek sculpture and it's missing. That is it. But what I thought was funny was just what the sculpture looks like. So it is a very
let's get him up.
Visual thing up on the screen now. It's clearly homemade. It's not a high quality statue.
I was not expecting that. Fuck me.
I don't know how brilliant. It weighs £200.
No, what have they made that of? Fuck, like
that's like 90 kilos. So unless the scale is really like the picture doesn't show how big it is, and it's like as big as a person, because it looks like it's only a couple feet tall.
It's a proper slow news day. That's even ended up on a website, isn't it? That's fucking content scraping. Isn't it?
Oh, it does say, the police department says the sculpture is made from cement and was taken from the home on Mountain Road. They posted that the dragon sculpture he lives with is frustrated and lonely. And that is it. If you have any information on the whereabouts, reach out to Hatfield Police Department.
Or any other Shrek-based, articles you'd like to share with us, then please get in touch. Or capybara-based articles, also into them.
Yeah. Or any other
police raid dressing up,
drinking, or any statue confusion.
Yeah.
I really need to get our phone number sorted. But you can just leave a comment. Leaving a comment, it works just as well. Or
send an email.
Yeah, I still have, curioscast@gmail.com. That old email is still there.
Yeah.
Didn't fully think through the whole branding thing. But there we go.
Nice.
That was
Cheers, Faz. Cheers, Tom.
Curio episode 120.